Good afternoon, everyone. This is our little next YouTube video. This is about screwdrivers. I originally wanted to make it about a favorite screwdriver I haven't had for a long time, but since I'm here, I might as well just talk about screwdrivers in general. Some people have dedicated screwdrivers they use for their livelihood. Watchmaker, electronics worker, computers, PC boards, electronic devices, stuff like that. Others could be HVAC, others could be electricians. There are definitely enough dedicated screwdrivers out there, dedicated screwdriver kits. But these are the ones I use for my profession as a handyman, building superintendent, super. They call me up north, chief super, service manager. They call me here down in Virginia. Okay. There is one missing here. It looks like the letter Z, almost. It's a short little stubby guy, and it fits in really tight places. There are other styles that look like a ratchet that you can use a similar type screwdriver, which I'm probably going to get. Since I'm pretty sure I lent it to somebody and I didn't get it back, so I'm going to have to get that tight screwdriver for tight spaces. I've used that on door closures, door checks, where the door closure is very close to the wall. There's a wall next to the hinges where there's a tight space. You can't fit a traditional screwdriver in there. So that's the one that's missing on this table that's not here. So I'll have to get that since I lent somebody and I didn't get it back. Next screwdriver would be this one. This is definitely a dedicated screwdriver. I'm not sure where I got this from. This is high carbon steel. You can see the rust there. And I've shaved it down. So I'm pretty sure I bent it before. Or somebody else bent it. I lent it to them. And it works really good. I really like it. It's probably a 00. I'm not exactly sure about the size. But it's made for small electronics like thermostats. Working with small wires for a 24-volt system for HVAC, 16-volt system for intercom, stuff like that. That's what this type screwdriver works out. Also works with soap dishes and toothbrush holders in the bathroom, where they have a metal bracket that mounts on the wall with 2 screws and a very tiny screw underneath to lock it in place. That's what this works with. So having a nice little dedicated screwdriver like this is nice. Not having one that changes bits, that is weak and won't hold up, this will do a lot better. Serious consideration for a lot of people, okay? Especially some type of handyman like myself. Alright, put that one to the side. We spoke about 2 already, so let's just keep it moving. This one here I recently picked up last year. We're doing a lot of 410, R410, R22. Freon for the air conditioners has been canceled out, I believe, since 2016, early 2016, somewhere in that range. And you can only use R410. There are other options available, but sometimes they have a locking cap on R410, which they're supposed to install. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. This is a particular tool to take that off. Okay, take that locking cap off so you can work on the Schrader valves, put on your gauges, charge your system, test the system, so on and so forth, okay? That's the name of it right there, hoping you guys can read that. Okay? Hope you got that. On that particular one, if you need something like that. I actually had a contract to get me that, because that's the one he uses, so as soon as I saw it, I was like, I need one of those for the same. We got one for all the guys. Okay. This one is not mine, it just happened to be on the table. This is a Torx. So screwdrivers can be in all kinds of different configurations. They do not have to be just in Phillips or in the standard flathead. Okay, they can come in different styles for different purposes. And having a dedicated one, if that's your livelihood, yeah, that's a really good idea. Do we all need this largest set of dedicated screwdrivers? Nah. But sometimes you might, depending upon what location you're working at. I've worked at so many different locations, and I find they're not all the same, and you have different tools that use at different locations, okay? This one is really nice for a lot of reasons, despite looking very simple. It's very light. It weighs like nothing, and the head is very close to a number 1, not quite the same size as number 2, maybe a hair smaller, maybe 1 and a, it's between 1 and the 2. And I like it because it fits the small electrical screwdrivers for cover plates, sockets and stuff like that a little bit easier. It gets me in tighter places and it's very easy to grab. What I also like about it is you see the white lines on it, and you see the writing over this is 9/16, which is a bit over a 1/2 inch. And I can find it in a bag a little bit easier because it has those markings. Some of you might be looking at the electrical tape, say, why you got electrical tape on there? There's times I might work in a box or something and things are tight, and I just want the tip to touch my screw I'm working on, or circuit breaker or something like that, and I don't want any other part of the metal screwdriver to touch any wires, nothing like that. So I don't short anything out while I'm working in a box, especially if it's live. Alright, not that I'm supposed to or anyone else's, so that's not recommended. Okay, but sometimes you have an outside service and I can't get into the transformer to shut it off because I'm not allowed to. But I will have to change the breaker out. And that's where I might use something like this, okay? Also, like I said, the electrical devices and the covers, this is really, really good. Being so light, it has no weight, and helping travel lighter is actually a good thing. The markings are also very nice. The size, I'm gonna guess this thing weighs like 3 ounces, maybe 4 ounces. It's very light. Very nice screwdriver. It works very good. Definitely happy I have this dedicated screwdriver. That's from Husky, which is Home Depot brand, I believe. You guys can check that one out online. Now, this one's a little bit heavier. Another solid type dedicated screwdriver. I don't understand certain things about certain screwdrivers. It's nice. This is kind of old school where you have a place here to put a crescent wrench or adjustable pliers or something where you can torque something down or loosen something up. Nice. You have a space here for a hook. Very nice. Okay. So you can hang it on a board or whatever. Sometimes I'll see Phillips with a metal head here. I never understood that, why you would do that, but maybe the thing is so rusty you have to hammer try to get it loose. Okay. It does stay in place because it has different notches, so that can help out. I dislike the idea is almost one solid color they handle because I have trouble finding it. Sometimes in my bag I have to really look for it, get a flashlight. It just kind of disappears in the bag. Okay, so I probably got to do something like that. Do something about that. Maybe get some electrical tape, orange tape or something, so I can find it in the box. I do not use this one very much, which is probably the most common number 2 Phillips. And I'll explain why in a few minutes, okay? But there is a backup. Somebody borrows my 6, 8, 10 way screwdriver and I have a backup. It's always a good idea. Okay? A little bit heavier, 6 ounces maybe. But it's kind of noticeable difference. Not sure if this is a 16-inch screwdriver. I like 18s if I can find them. This one's pretty stiff here. The material is very good. Does not have a metal end cap. The shank doesn't go all the way through. That would be nice if it did. It does have a square edge here, so you can put a crescent wrench or something on there. I must have did something to that head because you can see I ground it down. Very nice steel in here. It's not as malleable or as pliable as something like this guy. This one is a nice stainless steel, but it isn't brittle. It isn't that stiff. It actually it can bend, which can be a good thing at times. This one doesn't bend very much, and if you push it too hard, you'll snap something, which is probably what I did. I probably broke the tip, and I had to regrind the tip on there. Okay. Use this for larger screws, outside electrical service panel, or taking the covers off. Sometimes I gotta chisel something, a tile in the wall, I gotta get in a stem or something, it's closed up, there's some grout in there, something like that. I might use something like this. Different prying jobs, stuff like that. Need more leverage. So a screwdriver like this is pretty nice. It's probably a number 3 head on there. Okay, I usually never use anything larger than this, but it's nice having one of these. They come in handy. You don't want to carry around a small pry bar, something like that. Something like this can come in handy. It's what I use most of the time. Yes, it would be nice to have a pry bar if I'm going to use it a lot, but I normally do not. Again, Husky brand. Had one of these for a long time. My buddy borrowed it, never gave it back. He liked it so much, I had to buy another one. I wind up seeing it again because I put some of my tools I mark with a piece of tape. And I told him, thanks for holding my tool. And he said, no, this is mine. And I showed him the tape, and he kind of like, face turned red. He realized it wasn't his screwdriver. But I let him keep it, so he's a good guy. Alright, so next screwdriver to consider. I really don't consider this screwdriver. Is that other piece here? It's not here, of course. Probably got to go to the car. Oh, there it is on the other side. Okay. This is kind of a pick set. I prefer the one that's one solid piece. This is where it starts to get funky, where they don't work as great. You got a bunch of picks here, and you got a bunch of little accessories for Phillips or flathead. And the reason why I don't like this because they're not even remotely as strong as something like this. Okay, and here there's a weak point. It's like plastic with a brass cap that holds it in place, whatever it is. It's a weak point right here. And it's even come loose on me in the bag, the brass head at times. And it does its job, it serves its purpose, but if I had to depend on this in my livelihood, they would be dedicated like this. It would not be a kit where you put together like this. This tends to be a weak point for people that they rely on their screwdrivers for a living. Okay? Okay. This one here, people say, big. It's not a screwdriver. Well, I guess it depends on who you talk to. They do make power screwdrivers that have a whole lot less torque. They have a forward reverse drive, and sometimes they're variable speed according to the trigger, which is nice, but they don't have as much power as this. I don't understand why I would carry a power screwdriver. I'd rather carry something like this, being 12 volt, as compact as it is and as versatile as it is. You can do a whole lot more than just per se drive screws. Have a couple videos on these guys, okay? Some of the accessories that you might use. That's Milwaukee M12 Fuel. In case some of you are not sure about that one, because I didn't show you that it says fuel on the back, okay? This is Gen 1. This is not the Gen 2, the new one. I like carrying a dedicated flathead where I can pop it in and out instead of popping these and out. Sometimes it gets difficult in the field. Your hands can be cold. You can have gloves on, whatever. Number 3. Okay, a bunch of little heads here, so on and so forth. You get the idea. Okay, these guys can be extremely versatile, and yes, for me it is a power screwdriver. Or a lot more than that. It's actually impact 1/4-inch socket, brushless motor, 12 volt. Probably one of the most powerful on the line, if not the most powerful. For Gen 1, maybe not the newer ones, but very, very nice. A lot of great features. I have 2 videos on these guys if you want to look it up, okay? But the idea, power screwdriver, or getting impact driver like that instead of a power screwdriver, probably be a better deal for most, if it's in your price range. Now we get down to the meat of things. Klein tools. And this one is made by Irwin. I've had some really great 6, 8, 10 way screwdrivers from Irwin, and I've never broken the tip. I have broken them on the Lowe's South Wire, or whatever it is, Southern Wire, whatever it is. They have their own brand. It came out for a couple of years now. It's like a brownish color, whatever it is. I have seen somebody lend me one of the screwdrivers. I was using, excuse me, an electrical box, and the screw wouldn't come loose, and I snapped that tip right in half, which means the cast was weak on there. I've never done that with Irwin. I've never done that with Klein. Okay, they make some really good screwdrivers. The difference between these two would be this one has a clutch where you can go, so that would be loosen, and that would be tighten. I thought that would be a great thing when I saw it, a few dollars more, $5 more. I thought it would be rather versatile. And I find it's annoying because I have trouble finding out what I'm doing. Maybe if I mark the screwdriver and I mark the metal here with something. Actually, I can't mark the mark, but if I marked the rubber here, and I could see a little better. But there might be some markings that I just can't see them because they're not. Looks like I see something right here. Do see some markings there. Right there my finger's at, and they pretty much that way or this way. I just find it difficult to use when I'm working fast, and I find either if it's not tough to get the screw in, the ratcheting doesn't work because it has to be weighted down or bogged down a little bit to screw for the ratcheting to work. So I find this not to be as useful for me as other people. Doesn't mean it won't be for you, just for me. You got look like a T25 and possibly a T15 over here. I can't see. You guys might be able to see the video better than me. Okay, T25 Irwin, which is this side. This might be a T15 on this side. I can't see. Oh, it says square. Excuse me, square 2. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Since I don't have my glasses, I can't see too good. So a square 2 head for electrical work, and a T25 for different various screws. Usually deck screws, a little bit larger, stuff like that. I don't use this very much. Usually it's a double here, but this is just looks like a #1 Phillips. Okay, and I've had this one for a while. It's not rusted out yet, so yes, I've been using it and it's been working out just fine. Happy with this. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-way screwdriver, I guess, from what I can see. Okay, good solid screwdriver, bit heavy, about a pound, maybe a little bit more than a pound. 16, I'm gonna say about 20 ounces on the weight on this. I don't have a G scale, I'm just trying to guesstimate. Okay, good screwdriver, but not as practical for me, costing $5 more, and that ratchet system not working out for me for what I'm doing. Okay, now my favorite screwdriver of all time so far, that's an old school favorite of a lot of people, works really good, is this one right here. This is a Klein. Has a number right there. I can't even see it. It's just 3257, and it costs $15. You have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 different attachments, accessories, style drivers you can use here. Okay, I did open it up. I haven't used it yet, but I used to use one of these a long time ago, and in between using this a long time ago, maybe 10 years ago, whatever, longer, something similar by Klein, it was out, something like this. It might not have been 10 like this, it might have been 8. I tried different ones and they came close, and this time I've come back to this one, so I just wanted you guys to see that. Okay, this one is much lighter. It's about half the weight of the Irwin. So this is 20 ounces. This is about 10 ounces. It's about 12 ounces. About 12 ounces. Seems lighter, much lighter than per se the Irwin. You can feel it. It feels almost close to half the weight. This one might actually even be over 20 ounces. I can't tell, but you can feel it. It's got some weight to it, so it's meant not to break. So this might be very useful to other people. It's just not as useful to me. So I'll probably keep that one in the house. Now this being lighter and having the versatility it has, also you can see the grips are very good on here. They're very large. Okay, this is a nice size grip here. It's also an excellent grip here, and this one is not a bad grip, but this larger here one here is actually a little bit better than both of these, even though it doesn't look like it. Okay, let's open it up, see what we got. Okay, I remember I used to rust these out. They're getting better now. They don't rust out so much. It's nice having the different color here, so you know you have 1/4 inch and probably 3/8 here and 5/8 here. This is for, since this Klein's electrical company, this is probably a #2, and that's a long head I've seen on that. I've never seen one that long. It must be for a good reason. I'll get into tighter places. Okay. Guys, look like a number on there. #2 Phillips on here, and I cannot see S something, S1. So this is a square one, not even an S2. Okay, different. Did not expect that. Something to look at, something to test later on. Here's the S2 right there. Of course I can't see that good. I don't have my glasses on again. I'm sure that's S2, and that's a number 1 flathead. Okay, and I do like this being black, so you can see a difference. That is number 1 Phillips and a number 2 flathead. So we got some good stuff going on here. That would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Counting 9, I'm not counting 10. So I guess somewhere I'm wrong here. I guess I have to look at it again. Either way, this is my favorite screwdriver for a very long time. They still haven't made one that's much better than this. Unless I'm wrong, you guys can put a shout out, leave a comment, make your own video, what you guys think. Hope you guys enjoyed the video for now. Got some ideas. Do like the yellow here, will help me see in the bag. I do intend to put something on here so I can see a little better. On there it says Heavy Duty Multi by Klein. Okay, I will see you guys on the next one. Have a good one. Bye.